Hi, welcome back to my channel. First of all, I need to hold my hands up and apologise. I have been very lacking in the last couple of weeks. There hasn't been any vlogs. There's been a lot of stuff going on. So I thought today, what I want to do is have a bit of a chat, fill you in on what's been going on, but also do a very overdue kitchen tour. So for those of you who don't know, I'm Katrina, I'm a mum of two. I make home decor, lifestyle, cooking, wellness vlogs. Realistic, let me say, I need to pre-emphasise the realistic angle. So we moved into our new build in 2021 and it's absolutely perfect, love it. We moved, we bought a Taylor Wimpey house. The only thing we felt was that our kitchen was massively letting down the property. So it's a 4-bed property, but the kitchen was tiny and it just wasn't functional for our family. And also when we had people around like guests and we wanted to entertain, etc, etc. So what we did was, and I'll show you some pictures here of what it previously looked like. This was our original kitchen. Our toilet, bathroom was over in this corner. Because this house has 3 bathrooms, we felt like the downstairs bathroom was a huge space. It took up so much room and we just felt like it wasn't utilised. However, we didn't want to, because we just done our garden, we didn't want to start moving things around, doing extensions that were going to be quite costly. So we were trying to look at a more cost-effective way of making the changes that would give us the extra space that we needed. Hence, knocking through the kitchen, knocking through the bathroom, opening up the kitchen and making it a smaller bathroom over there. So I'm going to show you, obviously you've seen the before and the after pictures, but I thought I'd walk you around and explain some of the changes that we did and also show you how I've organised my kitchen, because that's my favourite thing. I feel like having a much better, like having the organisation, having extra space, and basically how I've set everything out. So let me show you. So I thought it'd be a good idea if I insert a little clip of the works being done. This is actually when the wall was taken out that separated the kitchen from the toilet. And if you look closely, you can see the toilet over in this corner right here. So this is the wall where the bathroom finished and the kitchen begun. And you can see there was a great big space that just wasn't being utilised very well. So as soon as that wall came down, you could really see how much extra space we was going to gain. And it may not seem huge, but it's made such a big difference. I literally remember dancing around the kitchen. I was like, we have all of this room. It was amazing. So as you can see, our kitchen is much larger when it was before. And honestly, I am obsessed. So obviously this is where the bathroom was. We knocked that wall through and let's start off the bathroom. So this was the before, a literal dumping ground, and this is the after. We just thought we don't need a huge downstairs loo. Not having a downstairs loo for a few weeks while we waited for the kitchen to be done proved to me that actually having a downstairs toilet is a necessity, like especially if you've got kids and they're running in and out of the garden, you don't want them running up and down the stairs. Just having a downstairs loo is very convenient. So we changed this messy cupboard under the stairs into something that was going to be very convenient for our family. I love this. I think it's very functional still. We've got our little dustpan and brush, mop and broom over here. This is my little laundry station here. And as you can see, this is where we keep our laundry. In these very convenient, this is actually drawers, these do work as well, look here. Our laundry is all kept in here. We've also got a utility section going on here. I'll show you what we've got in here. The things like the iron, some cleaning products are in here, extra loo rolls, hand wash, etc, etc. Some paint stuff is in here too. We've got a nice size sink. We got rid of the old toilet. We got quite a small toilet just so we've got space to actually get in here. And this is the decor we chose. This really beautiful olive green colour that I am obsessed with. Put in a new light. Job done. So this is our bathroom. Okay, so let me talk you through the kitchen now. So over here you can see the fridge it's moved over, but it's still the fridge and the freezer here. Here is still our pull-out larder, organised here. So I've just got kind of like some sauces that don't belong in the fridge here, some supplements that I take on a regular basis, some oils, some seasonings, some spices, etc. Herbal tea bags, normal tea bags up here. So this stayed relatively the same, but up here is where I keep my pans, saucepans that I use on a regular basis. Obviously we have the oven. In here we have, I'll tell you what, these, oh my God, they are so handy. Let me just pull that out because that's going to annoy me. There we go. Put that round the right way round. Sorry, that's my OCD tendency. Okay, so this is where I keep like saucepans, the lids. These are from IKEA, and honestly, I've got them, I'm using them at multiple points in the kitchen, and I'll show you exactly what I'm doing with them, but they're really handy to store your saucepan lids. I've got my big cast iron pots here. This is not in the right place. And some racking here. This actually belongs in here. So let's just put that back. You can see this is like a little impromptu decision from me to pick up the camera. Now this bit here, this is probably the biggest, one of the biggest game changers of the kitchen, and I'm obsessed. So obviously this corner, like I said, this was the bathroom. Where we're standing here, I'm effectively in the toilet here, but we decided to make a larder. Now we used to live in like a little old fisherman's cottage, and it had one whole room that was a larder, and honestly, it was the biggest game changer. So I was like, oh, I'd love a larder cupboard where I could house all my appliances, all of my kitchen staples, etc., etc. And this is what we created. So our carpenter made this for us. You can't buy it. He literally made it. So we've used some, obviously, the symphony doors, but this is all made. So this is what he's done. I'll just walk you through what he's done. So we've got some shelving here. He's reinforced it with some wood. But I feel like the biggest reinforcement, because obviously some of it's quite heavy, is this bar here. Yes, it does make it a little bit tricky to get around here, but to be honest, we've adapted now. But if this wasn't here, you know, I don't want these shelves collapsing, especially because they're loaded up quite a bit. So I actually purchased a little stool from TK Maxx, which enables me to hop on and get to these things up here. So let me tell you what we've got. We've got this is kind of like baking stuff. So we've got my big mixer here. This is my big baking, what you can see, my big baking basket. So when I'm baking, I can just pull the whole basket out, job done. Spare loo rolls. We've got some, what have we got in here? I've got at the back here, I've got another hand mixer, just baking staples. Up here, these are all like medicines and just, yeah, medicine bits and pieces. I've got my homeopathy remedies here. This is a really good non-alcohol brand. Like if you love an Aperol Spritz, this is an alcohol-free version. You can just mix that. I've got some more cleaning staples here. I'm going to be showing you how I use this citric acid actually in a little while to descale my kettle. This, and we've got some bicarb here. Such great buys here. Okay, moving on to the second level. This is, like I said, where I keep all of my appliances. So I've got my coffee machine, my frother, my toaster. I keep some glasses here. I've got a juicer, smoothie maker, blenders, whatever you want to call them, my food processor, air fryer, and slow cooker. Okay, so going down to the next section here. Okay, so I keep my coffee pods in here. These are like bread and wraps, potatoes, onions. These are what I like to add to my coffees. Like this is obviously the Hunter Gather range, Nutrition Geek. So I've got my collagen, I've got some bone broth, I've got some creatine, protein. I've got some seed toppers here. Love this brand, good for you. This garlic and chili one, oh my God, it is so good. I've got some Itsu noodles, which is a great brand. I've got some Freestyle products back there, more Itsu noodles. Here, just move that out of the way. I've got things like my chia seeds, my walnuts, almonds, flax seeds, etc. I've got some pumpkin seeds. I've got some macadamias in here, oats, macaroni. We've got flour, more flour, lentils, pasta, rice, raisins. This is where I keep my butter in here. Because a lot of people say, oh, when you use butter, how do you make it spreadable? I just don't keep it in the fridge. Just get a butter dish, keep it somewhere nice and cool. Job done. And then in here, oh, you can tell my husband literally put away the food shop when it came last night. Let me take those out. So in here, I've got some tins. This is where I keep like tins like chopped tomatoes. They will be coming out and going back in here. Then we have just some snacks for the kids. So I've got like some breadsticks in here. I've got these bars. So these bars here are great. They're from a brand called the Tuck Co. And I send my kids into these for their packed lunches. They have no nuts, no gluten, no dairy. So they're perfect for school kid lunches. Not going to trigger any allergies. These are brilliant, actually. I'll link these down below, but you can get them from Amazon or directly from their website. Breadsticks, obviously these go in their lunches as well. These are just from Aldi that I picked up, these tropical dinos. They're just fruit and that's it, fruit winders. We've got some more staples at the back here. In here we've got my pasta. Oh, I made a ragu. I might actually make it again and show you guys how I do it because it looks bloody delicious. So I've got the big pasta. This is the part, what's it called? Pappardelle. Gorgeous. So I've also got some, obviously I've got big salts. I've got some more jars. So these are things like pasta sauces, like beans, etc. I love this brand, Mr. Organic, kept in here. And then in this bit here, these are just regular pasta, noodles, that sort of thing, like my stuffing mixes, all go in here. And then right at the bottom, this is where I keep like cleaning products, cat litter, the cat food, etc, etc. These are spare plates actually in here. No, this is a cleaner. Behind that I've got this, no, at the back we've got some spare plates, picnic basket, etc, etc. I will undo that another time. So this is my larder, and honestly, oh, pasta in the tub here. This is, now I hope you can see why I love this, because there is so much stuff in here, honestly. Like when this was all laid out, there was so much, but it all stays nicely in here. And then you can literally just shut the door. And look, shuts nicely away. Honestly, I'm obsessed with that larder. Okay, let's start off with these top cupboards here. So this is where we store all of the plates and stuff here. These, I showed you these when I picked them up from IKEA. Absolutely obsessed with these. So we've got, and like I said also, these rackings come in so handy. Because before I bought these, we used to stack our plates like one on top of the other and they'd get chipped quite easily. These just look, slot perfectly. Love them. And they were about like, what, £2? So I've got my bigger bowls here, smaller bowls here. Then over here we have like cups. How cute are these? Oh, I love these. So I picked these up from the Flying Tiger. Do a little shot of the Flying Tiger. Love these. Picked these up literally the other day. Got a little one here with all the mangoes and tropical fruits, and this one with the lemons on. But oh, how cute are they? So they're perfect when I make my iced coffees. Glasses, big cups up here. So that's that. On my counter, actually I'll show you the counter afterwards. This here, there's actually nothing in here. This is where the extractor hides. And then let me just take you over here. So this cupboard here, we've just got some wine glasses, Luke's big bowl. So my husband, as you know, he's got a massive appetite. This is his bowl. We had the normal size bowls over there. This is Luke's bowl. We've got a jug, I've got my coffee stuff here, jars, etc. And then in here, it's just the boiler. Okay, so that's all the top cupboards done. Let's go to the bottom cupboards now. So in here, this is where I store just some Tupperware pots. I've got, these are the plastic cups that we tend to use for the barbecue. I've got some more glass kind of oven dishes, plastic Tupperwares at the back. The larger ones, like I said, these ones here are for more barbecue, like when we're eating outside, so we don't want to bring the glass outside. In here is where I keep all our water bottles down here, and these are all our like themed cups for like Christmas, Halloween, etc. Then we have my drawers. So obviously this is where I lay out cutlery, scissors. These are metal straws in here. Just, yeah, tin openers, etc, etc. This drawer here is where we keep, got a fire blanket in here, some more utensils, ice lolly, moulds, etc. This is a sewing kit. And then this drawer here, again, we've got thermometers, placemats, measuring cups, just, yeah, more bits and bobs, aprons, etc, grater. And then this corner here is where I keep my big mixing bowls here for baking. These are like platters for decorating, sieves and stuff, more platters, and then Christmas kind of like placemats at the back, a glass, yeah, random glass thing here. Let's go around here and then I'll show you the countertops, etc. So this is cleaning products here. As you can see, like remember when we had the issues with the sink, there's not a lot of space here, so we had to take some plumbing and stuff. But yeah, so I've got more cleaning products, like everyday cleaning products here. I have all of my, what are these things called? Microfiber cloths, dishwasher tablets, dishwashers here. A washing machine is here. Pull out bin. There we go. Okay, now let's go over to the island. Oh, honestly, I'm obsessed with having this island. I say this has probably made another one of the biggest changes for us. And let me just add, underneath here, we have wheels. I think I told you about that, didn't I? So you can actually, there's a way of hoiking this up, putting the wheels down, moving it if you want to, putting it down and then lowering it. Because as you can see, when you walk around here, you can't see anything. And down there's just a plinth, so you can't see anything. So let me talk you through the island. So the configuration for our island is 2 doors and then obviously the 3 drawers. In here, this is again, so this time the wooden divider wouldn't work. So you can actually buy this metal one here. That's from IKEA, and you can kind of like open it and squeeze it to space it out. So this is where I keep all of my chopping boards. Then, I mean, these are a bit of a funny angle, so I had to put these in here, but these are my baking dishes here. And then in this one here, we have kitchen towels, wooden placemats, and these are kind of like Christmassy kind of flat placemats. Top drawer, not gonna lie, it's a bit of a dumping ground. And then in here, this layout here for my spices, oh, honestly, I love this so much. So this has got all of my spices here. I can see them all laid out. Again, this is probably the biggest game changer because I love to cook. I love to use a different array of flavours. So seeing everything laid out here is so much easier rather than me having to, when they were in here, pull things out to try and see what I needed. So yeah, love this for me. And then this bottom drawer here, we have like all of the black bags, we've got foil, we've got baking paper, we've got liners, we've got my coffee pods, recycling bags, freezer bags, etc. So that's the layout of my island. So we actually added this bar from IKEA to our island, and I definitely feel like this is something that we utilise quite often. It's really good to hang tea towels and obviously to keep our oven mitt on there, and it literally cost, it was quite cheap actually. I'm not sure of the exact price, but it definitely, I think for this size, because it comes in 2 sizes, definitely under £10, and then you buy the hooks separately. So this is the styling that I did. I've got a lovely, these are touch lamps. I bought myself some new knives. This was literally from Asda, George. I think it was like 23 quid. And they're all stainless steel as well, which is brilliant. I've got my wooden utensils. This is a glass top where I can infuse for my herbal teas here. This here Let me tell you. Okay, so I don't know if you remember, but our big backsplash came in two parts, and there was a join through here that was really kind of irritating myself and my husband. So in the end, we were like, right, what we can do, we can refill it. Chances are that joint's going to become more visible. So we started looking into these mirrored glass here. I couldn't decide between the antique glass or this kind of like bronze look that we have here. So in the end, we went with this. I found a company online, honestly, shop around, guys, because we were quoted up to £800 for this. In the end, we paid just over 200 quid, and we love it. For those of people saying, oh, you're going to be constantly cleaning it, do you know what? We don't at all. It doesn't need constant cleaning. I love it. I just feel like this whole back bit here is such a feature, like I'm obsessed. So because we had, we replaced the stainless steel sink with this black sink, I just wanted a few more darker elements. So we bought a new glass hob, which I love. This does need a lot of cleaning. I'm not gonna lie, this doesn't, strangely enough. This does. So if you do get a glass top hob, be prepared that it's going to need some cleaning. And also, just ignore these things dotted around everywhere. For those of you who don't know, this is a hack that will keep the flies away. Obviously, we have our doors and stuff open, the flies fly in, but this detracts them. And it's literally lemon and cloves stuck into it. So this is the way that I styled this. Oh my God, this is another game changer. I love this. So I picked up this. This is marble and it's from TK Maxx. Absolutely love it. I can keep everything on there and it just keeps it nice and tidy and organised. Before, like, we'd have the liquids and stuff just spilling all over the countertops. This is stone, it doesn't matter. It's not going to damage it. So we keep everything on here. I've also got my canisters. I did put these away, but practically it helps to have your canisters of your tea, coffee, sugar, etc. on the counter. Glass kettle. I'm actually going to show you how I descale this. If you live in a hard water area like me, I'm going to show you how to do that later on in this video. Actually, I thought it would be quite nice. And then obviously those of you who saw my styling for my shelves here, let's move this. Sorry, this is reality of content creator. And here, which I love. So we used to have a big bulky radiator here and it just took up so much space because this table was having to come really far out. So we ripped that out and installed a streamlined one here. Obviously, if you didn't see, we sanded this back and done this lovely neutral stain to bring back some life to this table is what, over 14 years old because it's older than my daughter. Brought back to life this table, which is absolutely gorgeous. Now, I actually, full disclaimer, so I purchased these stools, which are such a bargain buy, especially considering the more expensive versions of this online. I actually have the chairs that match this. Have I put them up yet? No. Have they sat in the garage for weeks on end? Yes. I'm just not prepared to do that yet. I might do it and actually add it to the vlog, but yeah, full disclaimer. And then finally, we got rid of the slatted blinds because when we were having work done in here, I literally had the slatted blinds open and I loved the amount of light that was coming into this kitchen. So I thought, let's just get rid of them and get a roller blind. This is from Blinds to Go, stripped, absolutely love it. And I think it just really works with the space. So little touches that I think made a really big impact is swapping out our original handles. So originally we had the silver ones that came with our new builder standard. We swapped those out and we replaced them, I'll show you, for, here I go, these lovely brass ones, which just look much more high end. They tie into the warmth of the kitchen and they give a really lovely finish. And then for our drawers, we've got these lovely thick kind of like cup handles, again in this lovely brass tone, which look lovely. We also swapped out our electrical switches and plug sockets for this lovely brass one, obviously in keeping with the theme. That made a real big difference, I think. We also swapped out our spotlights, again for brass, and in keeping in the theme, because we didn't realise we had cool lights over here and a warm light over here, and we switched out the lighting to make sure it all was a warm lighting. So you obviously can't really see now because they're off, but in the evening when the lights are on, it creates a really lovely tone. Instead of the bright white light, which can make it look quite stark, the warm lighting definitely makes a difference to this kitchen. And in terms of what we originally had and what we added was, so obviously this was original, the oven was original. This we added, all of the wall units we added, the island we added, this bin drawer here we added, and the rest was just all of the original Taylor Wimpey kitchen. So I feel like because I loved the sage green and I just wanted to expand, I didn't want to get rid of that and obviously spend money unnecessarily by buying more units when it just wasn't needed. So we only effectively replaced the larder, all of the wall units, the bin drawer and the island. Oh, I almost forgot the flooring. The flooring, so you saw what we had originally, went straight over the top of the original Antico flooring and had this lovely herringbone style, which I feel like this shade just works perfectly. And that actually obviously continues into the bathroom and also into the living room as well. So that just continues, and we've got this lovely border around here, which just ties everything in, which I think is absolutely lovely. So yeah, I'm over the moon with this kitchen now, and I feel like the changes have just made it more enjoyable for everybody. Eventually, we are going to build like a corner storage bench here, and then have, you'll have more seating area there, and then the normal kitchen chairs will be there and along here. So that's changes that we still want to make. Also these lights here, my husband hates these. I'm not gonna lie, like he walks in and bangs his head on them, but I love them and I think it really works with the kitchen. Obviously this is just beaded MDF that we've put up here. My husband put a mould in here. The colour that we used was the lick paint in colour 02 Grage, which again I love. When it first went up, I was like, oh my God, is it gonna be too dark? But no, I'm obsessed with this colour. I just think it looks really lovely. Yeah, really, really happy with it. If you have any questions about what we've done with our kitchen, want any tips or my advice? I'm absolutely starving now, so I'm just gonna make a quick breakfast. So this actually has been my go-to breakfast for the last, past few months. I feel like it's really high in protein, got adequate fibre in there as well. And yeah, it just really helps me to start my day off in a positive way, keep me full, keep me satiated until lunch, and doesn't have me picking. Let me show you what I'm having. Have some eggs mixed with some cottage cheese. I've got some mushrooms, spinach, tomatoes. The seasonings I love to use: salt, pepper, turmeric and red chilli flakes, and I'm just warming up some baked beans. I don't normally have these, but I have some left over, so I thought, waste not, want not, let's make them up. This honestly is so delicious, and yeah, I honestly don't see myself getting bored of this anytime soon. Not the best presentation, but I'm super hungry, so I'm going to enjoy this. Good morning, I hope you're okay. So today is, what day is it? It is Saturday, and I think we're coming to the end of the heat wave. It has been hot. When I say it's been hot, it has been absolutely boiling. We had such a lovely day yesterday, so a little bit of a random one. My children have been going to school as normal, and yesterday it was really weird because the teacher said, oh, you can pick up your son at 1:30 if you like. So I was like, okay then. So I'd arranged with some friends to all come over to mine. Got the pool's blown up, picked up some food, and they ended up staying, our friends ended up staying until probably about sort of 8:30ish. So we had some food, had some piggy bits, the kids were playing in the pool, on the trampoline, we had some drinks, got in the hot tub, ended up getting a takeaway, and just, yeah, ended up staying until the evening. It was lovely, just like one of those random days. It was really nice. But today it feels hot. Still feels hot, but not really sure what the plans are today. My husband's literally just walked through the back gate as we speak. But I thought I would show you how to descale my kettle. Hi.
Hello, darling.
Because I've been meaning to do it and I have just not got around to it. But for some reason, going off topic slightly, I opened my bin and I was like, that bin stinks. something had leaked in the bottom of the bag, and do you know when it leaks out and goes everywhere? So I put the bin outside and I thought, let me just fill up the kettle to boil it and put some boiling water and some washing up liquid just to get that yucky, disgusting stuff off of it. And then I thought, let me descale the kettle, film it and show you how I do it. So I have this glass kettle, but as you can see, we live in a really hard water area and we get this build up here, and it is a lot. However, I don't really like using chemicals in my home. If I can use natural products, I will do. And 3 of the best buys that I have bought, that I absolutely swear by, is citric acid, which I will be descaling the kettle with, bicarbonate of soda, and white vinegar. If you have those 3 things, there's not much else you need, to be honest with you. Now this is brilliant because this is a great descaler, and if you live in a hard water area, it's perfect. I actually have some in a spray bottle that I used to do the shower. I've had some other bits and pieces in there, but for the shower, you can use it to get the scale out of the toilet as well. So once you do this, do not throw away the water because it comes in really handy. You can literally just pour it down the toilet, let it sit in it to scale the whole toilet. So I'm going to show you what I do. Literally, you want to fill your kettle up, not all the way, I'd say up to the max line, because it's going to have some fizzing action. So we're going to fill up the kettle, and then let's go. We're going to put our kettle on to boil. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to measure out 80 grams of the citric acid. There we go. And then we're going to literally pour this straight into the kettle. And then I'll put the lid back on here. And I'm just going to leave this now to sit for about 7 to 10 minutes. All right, it's been 10 minutes, and can you see how crystal clear that is? That's perfect. And like I said, do not throw this water away. Obviously, I'm going to go and tip it into the bin to give it a good sanitize and clean. But if you don't need to do that, just tip it down the toilet. Let it sit. It will descale your whole toilet. I'm literally just going to take this. I'm going to go outside into the garden. And I'm going to pour this in the stinky bin. And then literally, I'll give this a rinse, let it air dry, job done. Because this food grade citric acid is completely safe, it's completely natural, and it really does a good job. Not my little boy, but look at that. So you can see some water marks on the outside, but I'll dry them off and it'll be as good as new. One thing I will say is if you live in a hard water area, one tip that I've definitely have learned and I've started doing in order to stop the build up happening is only use as much water, like so fill it up for the amount of teas that you're making. Don't keep filling it to the top unnecessarily. And then when you finish, empty the water. Don't allow the water to sit in the kettle, because it will sit in the kettle and it will literally just create that build up again, or that lime cell build up, which we don't want. So there we go, that's how I descale my kettle, and yeah, works really simple, and it helps me to reduce the toxic sort of chemicals that I use in my house. I'm going to wrap this week's vlog up. I definitely promise I'm going to try to stay more consistent. Really hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, it's a very noisy car. The windows are obviously open. If you do have any questions about the renovation, what we did, stockists, anything like that, who we used, just drop me a comment below and I'll do my best to answer them. Until next week, see you later and have a lovely week. Bye.